For personalized astrology reports and interesting blogs, make sure you click on my original and correct website, and that's www.vedicoraclebyKadambari.com.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be talking about the North Node Rahu. What happens when it holds the highest or the second highest degree in your horoscope, which means it acts as the Atma or the Amatyakaraka in your birth chart. Well, there are different schools of thought when it comes to categorizing the Gemini Charakarakas. Now, before we talk about these different schools, I really want to mention that this video is the most requested video on my channel. Every single day, I get emails and comments to make a video on this topic, that is Rahu as the Atmakaraka or the Amatyakaraka. The major reason for the delay is that I was quite confused whether to make a video on this topic or not. Because you all know how YouTube works. There are people who are always open to listen to your thoughts, and then there's a set of people who clearly don't like listening to other people's ideas because they already have fixed and preconceived ideas, and for them every other new piece of information is wrong and misguiding. So yes, this thought kept me away from making this video. There is certainly a debate whether to consider Rahu in the Charakarakas or not. Being a medical professional, I have dedicated a major chunk of my life in learning the medicinal sciences, and I believe just like the other sciences, even in the astrological science, exploration and experience takes us to the right path in new discoveries. So yes, I firmly believe that Rahu can be considered as a Charakaraka because I have studied many birth charts which helped me in reaching to this conclusion. So what are those different schools of thought which can help us to categorize the Gemini Charakarakas? Well, number one, there are total 7 Charakarakas starting from the highest degree to the lowest degree, that is from the Atmakaraka to the Tarakaraka. Over here we will consider only 7 planets, that is from Sun to Saturn. We won't include Rahu in this system. In the second system, we will consider 8 planets including Rahu. Sun to Saturn plus Rahu. So there are total 8 Charakarakas, and we have an addition at the 5th number, that is the Pitrikaraka, and we didn't had Pitrikaraka in the previous system where we were considering 7 Charakarakas. So over here again we will consider 8 planets from Atma to the Tarakaraka, highest to lowest. Pitrikaraka is the Karaka of father, that is the main addition over here. Now the Rahu's degree will be subtracted from the 30 degree, and then you will get the actual degree of Rahu. That subtracted value will be considered as the actual degree of Rahu. Okay, in the third system, well, you have to consider 7 Charakarakas. But if there are 2 or more planets at same degree, then instead of considering 7 Charakarakas, now you have to consider 8 Charakarakas. So you have to include Rahu also. Remember, the rule is if there are 2 or more planets at the same degree, then only you have to consider 8 planets, then only you can consider Rahu over here. This is the thing which I have mentioned in my earlier video also. Okay, so again it will start from the highest degree planet, that is the Atmakaraka, and it will go to the lowest degree planet, that is the Darakaraka. And again you can see we have Pitrikaraka at the fifth number, the Karaka of father. So basically these were the three ways according to which you can categorize your Gemini Charakarakas. Personally, I love the third concept which I have discussed just now, that if two or more planets are at same degree, then you include Rahu. And I just leave it to you, whatever you feel like you can use it. It's according to how you connect to your planets, so you're free to choose whatsoever concept you would like to. But remember, whenever you consider Rahu, whenever you consider 8 Charakarakas, always subtract the Rahu's degree from 30 degrees, and that subtracted value is the actual degree of Rahu, and then compare this value with the degrees of other planets, and then only decide which planet is your Atma or Amatyakaraka. Now, why Rahu should be considered as a Charakaraka? You might have come across certain category of people in this life who are absolutely achievement oriented. They are more and more inclined towards achievement and fame, and they can go to any extent to achieve their goals. It is not their hard work and acquired skills which give success, it's their inherent qualities which is a major reason for material prosperity and success. So, yes, Rahu surely defines this category of people. Rahu can represent a highly influential politician to an immensely rich businessman, from an insanely famous celebrity to the infamous drug mafia or criminal. Well, today we will be surely talking about few personalities, quite successful personalities, who have their Atma or Amatyakaraka as Rahu, and this will really help you to understand how Rahu functions when it holds the highest or the second highest degree in your horoscope. Now let's analyze how Rahu works as the Atmakaraka in your horoscope. Firstly, in order to understand how Rahu is going to work for you, a thorough analysis of its placement and association with other planets is required. I have come across few people who say that they cannot relate their life to my Atmakarika series. It is because planets' placement, its true dignity, and its association with other planets decides how this Atmakaraka is going to work for you. Rahu is the definition of desires and wants. One gets so obsessed with that desire that he or she will dedicate entire life towards accomplishing that desire or goal. Rahu as Atmakaraka tends to give quite strong two personalities to the native. You can say the people who have Rahu as their Atmakaraka may have dual personalities. This dual nature helps a lot in balancing the professional and personal life, but it ruins the mental peace. You may face a lot of confusion and illusion in life regarding what is your true purpose, which way to go, are you on the right track? Because of that dual way of reacting to situations, people may consider you quite manipulative and shady. Secondly, there is a lack of satisfaction from whatever you achieve in life. There is always a desire to achieve more and more. Relationships can always be a big challenge as your expectations from partner are always quite high. There can be a phobia or a fear related to something. It can be the closed spaces, uncertainty of future, or lack of money. It could be anything depending upon the Rahu's placement, but certainly there will be a big insecurity or a phobia which may bother you lifelong. Rahu usually gives highly influential and impressive personality which attracts attention of masses. You exactly know the act of how to deal with people smartly and manipulatively. The best part of having Rahu as the Atmakaraka is that you have inherent quality to succeed in life. I think it is embedded in your DNA that how to achieve success. Success, fame, and recognition comes naturally to you. You're born with inherent intelligence and skills which can take you to great height. For you, it's the smart work which gives success rather than the hard work, and it's quite common that people who have Rahu as Atmakaraka often tries to find shortcuts in terms of professional life. But most importantly, Rahu as Atmakaraka gives great success in life. When the North Node Rahu holds the highest degree in the horoscope, it often gives big roles to the people, like a politician, businessman, or a celebrity. It gives one a desire to be someone who's way above authority, rules, and regulations. Rahu don't like rules and regulations. So if you have Rahu as Atmakarka, this certainly mean that you may face problems with authoritative figures. Rahu gives a great understanding of mass psychology. Therefore, it helps in flourishing your impact over the masses, which is actually a good thing professionally. Also, it gives massive success in professions related to the modern world like internet, computers, technology, aviation, advanced sciences. You also need to be quite careful about your speech. You have to understand the concept of limit, what to say, whom to say, and how much to say. Your speech can invite major trouble. Even if you don't mean to create chaos, it can bring chaos and it can make you fall from great heights. Overall, Rahu as Atmakaraka promises major success and material prosperity, but this grand success comes much later in life, most probably after the 30th year of life, once your soul has done enough exploration and it has received enough experience from life, then only Rahu gives success. You can see this thing in the examples which I will be talking about later in this video. All these people have received success after the 30th year of life. So what are the important challenges for you? Number one, constant struggles and disappointments will come in your way. Number two, fears or phobias will be a major part of life. Number three, there will be illusions and confusions, whether it's your work or relationships. It's your job to clear your way and create balance in life. Now, what happens when Rahu is the Amatyakaraka in your horoscope, which means it holds the second highest degree? Well, it gives inherent skills and intelligence to succeed in life. Smart and calculative mind is the key to achieve the goals. Rahu as the Karaka of profession and a medium to fulfill your soul's desires would take you to any extent to win in life. One develops great interest in such jobs which can give massive fame and material prosperity. Professions related to politics, business, music, technology, computers, aviation, anything which definitely promises a great influential role is indicated by Rahu. Rahu also represents achievement of goals through corrupt and illegal practices, but it all depends upon the placement of Rahu. It is not true for everyone. Rahu being the Amatyakaraka will give confusion in the earlier part of life about which career path is best for you. Slowly and eventually, you will realize your true career path because Rahu wants you to evolve and understand how the world works. Once you get firmly settled in your profession, it gives massive success, but at the same time, it takes away the satisfaction from work. Therefore, you will crave for more and more achievements. A lot depends upon the association of Rahu with other planets. If Rahu is with Sun or Moon, there can be major struggles and confusion in the earlier part of life. If Rahu is associated with the Venus, it makes one focused towards materialistic gains and luxury. One often finds happiness through expressing creativity. Rahu as a Amatyakaraka is a perfect example to understand. You don't need to go any special school to learn the art of money making. Your experiences of life and intelligence is enough to make the difference. Number 1. The comic king Stanley. Stanley have Rahu as Atmakaraka and Saturn as Amatyakaraka together in the sign of Virgo. He started his career as a gopher. From delivering files to coffee to the superiors at work, he accepted this work as his fate, as he always thought that his dream of becoming a novelist is not a practical way to earn and live the life. So yes, over here you can see the doubt created by Rahu, as Rahu is quite closely placed to the Amatyakaraka Saturn. Saturn also leaves a huge impact on his life. Over here, Saturn wanted him to learn the reality of life. But as we know, Rahu knows no limits. This dream took the form of different characters like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, X-Men, and much more. Stanley always came up with such characters which were quite away from the reality, thanks to Rahu for this. But these characters always fight with the reality of life, thanks to the Amatyakaraka, that is planet Saturn. Rahu in Virgo is absolutely an amazing placement to work in the field of communication, publication, and media. Through Rahu only, he came up with such great success. Rahu has certainly gave him struggles in transforming from a gopher to the famous comic man, but also it has blessed him with tremendous fame, success, and wealth. Number 2. Paramahansa Yogananda. He is the perfect example indicating that Rahu as Atmakaraka always don't have the same meaning, that is, the desire to achieve material prosperity. It could be a desire to attain spiritual advancement. In his horoscope, Rahu is the Atmakaraka in Aries in the 9th house of spirituality, teaching, and religion. The ruler of the 9th house, that is Mars, is in the 8th house along with Jupiter in Pisces. 8th house is again the house of spirituality, transformation, introspection. The Amatyakaraka Venus is in the 4th house in the sign of Scorpio. So you can see that the both Atma and the Amatyakaraka, both of them are together in the sign of planet Mars, which goes in the 8th house along with the spiritual planet that is Jupiter. Paramahansa Yogananda dedicated his entire life in teaching the world about meditation and Kriya Yoga. All the credit goes to the Atmakaraka Rahu in the 9th house of spirituality and teaching. He also focused on self realization and how this is the key to know about the higher power. The Amatyakaraka Venus is in the 4th house, that is the house of love, peace, and stability. Therefore, both Rahu and Venus in the sign of Mars, which is in the 8th house, along with Jupiter in Pisces, clearly indicates that how his soul wanted others to introspect and focus deep within. Number 3, Elon Musk. He is an entrepreneur and engineer who is one of the most powerful personality in the world. His Atmakaraka is not Rahu, it's planet Mars. Well, exalted Mars placed along with Rahu in Capricorn, so definitely Rahu is strongly associated with the Atmakaraka Mars. Mars is engineering and Rahu is space, something which is limitless. His main area of expertise is aerospace engineering, designing transportation utility which can travel in space. Certainly, you can see the expansion of Rahu in his horoscope. From PayPal to SpaceX, Rahu has helped him to think beyond the ordinary. Number 4, Samuel L. Jackson. He is one of the most known and talented actor in the world. He have Mars as Atmakaraka in sign of Sagittarius and Rahu as Amatyakaraka in Aries. So you can see over here how the Atma and Amatyakaraka are associated to each other, which gave him massive success. Most of his roles are related to being a bad guy or a villain or a criminal. You can observe Rahu over here is functioning through its lower principle, but it is also giving massive success and fame. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have talked about him in our previous Amatyakaraka video. In his horoscope, planet Saturn is the Atmakaraka and Rahu is the Amatyakaraka. Saturn itself means politics, authority, rules and regulations. Rahu as Amatyakaraka gave him the understanding of mass psychology. He exactly knows how to design certain policies and rules which will target a massive portion of population. In turn, this will give him a massive support from the people. You can also observe a great effect of Rahu on his speech: loud, talkative, manipulative, authoritative, and commanding way of talking. The Amatyakaraka Rahu is in Pisces, which is the sign of Jupiter, which strongly describes how he strives for a country where each and every citizen has great skills and qualities. Everything should be at its best. And also, you can see he's always dedicated to spiritual and religious ceremonies. So that's how Rahu is working in the sign of Pisces. Henry Cavill. My very favorite Man of Steel actor, Henry Cavill, have Mars as Atmakaraka in Aries along with exalted Sun. Amatyakaraka Rahu is in Gemini along with Venus, and Rahu is aspecting exalted Saturn in the 10th house. It's not a surprise that he got his major break at the age of 30 from a movie called as Man of Steel. All the credit goes to the association of Saturn, Mars, and Rahu in his horoscope. The Amatyakaraka Rahu is along with Venus in Gemini, clearly indicating major success through showbiz and media. Atmakaraka Mars indicates action roles will give him massive fame. Jack Ma. One of the richest business tycoons and the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma have Rahu as the Amatyakaraka in Gemini and Sun as the Atmakaraka along with the Mercury in Virgo. Jack Ma have failed number of times. He failed to even get a decent job. A lot of struggles and doubts came on his way. But his smart and calculative strategies gave great success. You can see both the Atma and Amatyakaraka, that is the Sun and Rahu, are strongly associated with planet Mercury. Mercury means business, Mercury means technology. So through the modern means of communication and technology, he succeeded. Okay, Rahu is in the sign of Mercury and Mercury is exalted in his horoscope. So yes, great success through business, great fame through working in a field of computers and internet. So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you have found something new and interesting in today's session. And if you really want such more interesting videos in future, then do subscribe and share the videos.